My name's Hugh Morris and I'm the Director of the RSCM. Welcome to our home here in Salisbury. Our offices are based here in the Close in Sarum College. We hope that by joining us today you'll be able to share with us in our excitement at the launch of this new initiative, and you'll get a clear idea about the exciting plans we have for the future. Join us to find out more. This is another very significant moment for the RSCM, following closely behind the recent relaunch of our revisioned local areas network. The 50 areas now give us a stable, consistent platform right across the UK, Ireland and across into mainland Europe. But it is only that, a platform. It's the content of what they deliver that ultimately matters. Education, resourcing and training are fundamentally what the RSCM is about, and it is in order to maximise the delivery of our mission for the study, practice and improvement of music in worship that we've developed our new plans. This is a time of bold new initiatives for the RSCM, and by the end of this presentation we hope that you will have a good understanding of some of what that actually means, and more importantly, the impact that this will bring about. If you're watching this at the live launch time, there'll be the chance for questions at the end. And if you're watching it subsequently, you're welcome to give us a call or send an email to inquiries@rscm.com to find out more. Our website, rscm.org.uk, also holds a wealth of information. So, why are we launching this plan? In order to understand this, let me give you some context. Back in 1927, Sir Sidney Nicholson stepped down from his role as organist of Westminster Abbey to set up what was then called the School of English Church Music. He did that because he could see that the parishes across the country needed support and coordinated resourcing and a proper focus on training for musicians and all those connected with leading worship. Ever since, that's been what the RSCM has striven to do, and as it's evolved, the focuses of that work have shifted over time. Many people still remember with fondness the RSCM's 4 decades of residence at Allington Palace in Croydon, and the wealth of training courses that were possible from such a fixed base through till 1996. Over time, thousands of churches have affiliated with the RSCM, reaching a peak of some 10,000 in 1980. The needs of our present time are both obvious and tangible. The changing landscape of church in the UK has created a fresh set of issues. Changing patterns in society have seen falling numbers in congregations and then in choirs and other musicians associated with worship. This has been compounded by an ageing, but of course still very much willing, pool of organists, choir trainers and other music leaders. It's become clear that there's a growing shortage of the right people with the right skill set to lead the musical work of the church. COVID has added another layer of challenge and complexity. But in fact, in many ways, it's simply accelerated something which was happening anyway. Taken together, the need for RSCM supported music at every level in our parishes and cathedrals is as important as it's ever been. And Sir Sidney's words and the intention of what he was looking to do seem to have at least as much resonance today as they did nearly a century ago. So, rather than sit and fret about things, the RSCM has a positive solution for how to approach the future. We have a bold, new plan to re-equip, reskill and retrain a new network and generation of church musicians. It's underpinned by a going for growth mentality. Ultimately, the only reason for the RSCM to exist at all is to support the church, and we need to be doing so as best we can. So this is a flexible way of responding to on-the-ground need, with relevant training, resourcing and support. The RSCM has a proud history of supporting choral music and robed choirs, and of course that work will continue. But it absolutely is not the only thing we do. Our ministry is to the church as a whole, and our fundamental belief is that appropriate music, offered in the best way circumstances allow, is a vital and integral part of the worshipping life of the church.
I'm Canon Sal McDougall and I'm the RSCM's Deputy Director with responsibility for our education and mission delivery programmes, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our education plan. Like any plan, our plan is a strategy document with proper goals and objectives within it. There are 3 of those. The goals that we want to work towards are a better integration of music into the central thinking of the church, not least as an agent for growth. We know, don't we, the power that music has, the extraordinary power music has to transform worship, to connect people with their faith and to strengthen and deepen that faith. But too often, music is a last-minute bolt-on. We want to work to help to change that, to make sure that music is drawn into the central strategic thinking of the church in all its planning and its development. That will become easier if we can work to give people the tools to talk confidently about music and its place in the church. We don't want people to be saying, "I'm just a musician." We want to help people to say, "I'm a musician." The second thing we want to work towards is greater engagement with the RSCM's educational offer. To do that, we're putting together an ambitious suite of new resources, but we're not doing this for ourselves. We only exist because we believe that the church needs this input and that we have the tools and the skills to help people to become even better at what they're doing. We're reconfiguring ourselves to make sure that we're best placed to deliver the best possible education that the church's music needs today. And thirdly, we want to increase more generally engagement with sacred music. Music in all its forms is something with which we all engage. But engagement with the music of the church won't happen automatically. It's a tool which can help to enable growth between church and community. It's an important way of drawing people over the threshold and into the life of the church. But the parameters have to be right for success, and that's where we want to be. Those are our 3 goals. And each of those goals is supported, as you'd expect, with a series of objectives. And the objective, as you'd expect, has got associated principal activities. And these then are the drivers for specific events projects. But a plan is just a plan in name only until it has some way of becoming real and enacted. So one significant way, therefore, that we'll be making this plan come to life is through our new education menu, which I'd like to introduce you to now. This is a significant piece of work, and this will play a really important part in the way we deliver sessions. It's a coherent plan to offer relevant tuition and development of skills to help the church further its own mission. The menu will reach across the full range of our work. Choral training, both for singers and for choir trainers, training for organists, support and training for congregations and for churches with little or no musical expertise or resource, work with instrumentalists, and support for ministers and lay leaders. And finally and importantly, in a new development for us, much closer work with schools, especially with church schools, and with the links with their attendant parish churches. Common to all these strands of work will be several things: a focus on high quality materials and the best tuition we can offer, clear enablement for progression, a scalable system which we can realistically deliver and you can easily access. Here's an example. I'm going to give you an example from the organist training strand. This is not significant in terms of prioritisation, just happens to be one we have ready to share, and it's an example of what we'll be offering across the 4 strands. Each of the modules we'll be offering has a clear set of rationales behind what it's trying to do and who it is aimed at. It also has clear and simple budgeting parameters so that we know exactly what it costs to run the session, and therefore what we need to do to run it to at least cover its own costs in a particular place and at a particular time. That, of course, is vital for our sustainability, as for any other organisation or charity. Each session then has a teaching outline, so that no matter who is delivering it, the core session content will be recognisable, though, of course, we won't be stifling the creativity of either the presenter, the tutor, or the personality of the people attending the course. As an example, this session for beginners includes a session on learning about the pedals on the organ. Already it includes prepared resources materials ready for the tutor and the students. Each session also has a next step guide, so as to point students to where they can further their progress. So where will all this get us? Let me pass to my colleague Sarah King to answer that question.
So how will we deliver this? Well, part of the delivery includes establishing a new tutor network, which will, in turn, include upskilling early career church musicians to put them in the best possible place by making them the multi-skilled, broad ability individuals which churches are looking to be able to employ. This is another important development for the RSCM. But we will also be drawing upon the skills of musicians, ministers and teachers from across our geographies, so that we can build networks of able tutors with the right skills who are available across the areas we cover. Further, we will be capitalising on the online expertise we have gained over the last year in being able to support people in fresh, innovative ways, including through our new RSCM hub. And our strengthened links with the church through the diocesan or church representatives within our area structure will help us make sure that we are delivering the right sessions to the people who need them. In other words, responding to and resourcing demand. We are now setting about engaging with all our newly relaunched areas to include educational work as central to their thinking, planning and delivery. And that will become increasingly apparent through 2022 and beyond. Finally, we are working to ensure financial sustainability so that we can continue to deliver this as a long-term plan. We're now going to hear from some RSCM members and supporters.
I'm really excited about the RSCM's new education plan. It's a hugely comprehensive document with a lot of thought gone behind it, and I think it's going to make the national offer so much stronger because it really does show all the areas that need to be covered and really does focus on high quality teaching, high quality provision for whatever level or whatever genre or style is being taught. And so it's really exciting. Good luck to the RSCM with it, and I'm hugely excited to be involved in obviously the on the ground committee work for it.
I joined a parish church choir when I was 9 years old, and soon after a new choir master was appointed who instituted the RSCM Awards programme and also introduced a lot of new music. Working my way through the awards levels equipped me with an increasing range of abilities that helped to prepare me for the more challenging repertoire we were now performing. By the age of 13, I had achieved my light blue, dark blue and red awards, and had also achieved my Deans and Bishops awards. I still sing in choirs now, and I know that the skills I acquired in my youth have given me the confidence to sing solos in some amazing buildings such as St George's Chapel, Windsor and Canterbury Cathedral, and have increased the enjoyment I now get from my hobby.